And
My pleasure,
forward to your next presentation next month. Take
Thank you.
care.
Bye.
Okay. I guess we'll go right into our meeting now, and I'd like to welcome everybody. So far, we have 42 people and more coming on. We'll start off, please, with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
And to the
and to the
republic
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's take a moment. There's a little silent reflection or prayer. That we're seeing an uptick again in the number of positive cases of COVID. Vaccine seems to be coming out slowly but surely. And let's pray that we all stay safe, and when the time comes to get the vaccine, we participate. Thank you.
Hey, Joe, how about a little prayer for our country based upon what happened yesterday, which was a disgrace?
Well, I don't want to get into political or
Not
anything
political.
else.
It's not political, Joe. It's not political at all.
I think it's over with. The outcome. Okay, guys, the outcome turned out. It seems to be everything died down, and yes, it was disgraceful. And let's hope that doesn't recur. And we don't have demonstrations like we had all of last year.
Why? What happened?
Joe, we can't ignore it, Joe. Okay?
No, we can't ignore it. I agree, but let's hope it doesn't continue and it's over with now.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a terrible demonstrations all over the last 8 months. So it's the culmination of everything and frustration and whatnot, I think, of the whole thing. But let's look at having a healthy and happy new year. And on behalf of all the officers, we wish you all a happy, you and your families a happy new year, 2021. On a sad note, Jim Russo, who's a relatively new member, passed away from COVID-19 related causes on Christmas Eve. He was 91. Graduated University of Maryland, worked as a computer programmer. He was a veteran of the Korean War, reached the rank of staff sergeant, infantry. Jim was a devout Christian Catholic, 4th degree Knight of the Knights of Columbus. Jim was involved with coaching Little League and Pop Warner football in the 70s and 80s. He lived in Stamford. He lived at 60 Bradley Place, right off of High Ridge. And why I know that is my first house that I bought in Stamford, I bought from Jim was the previous owner. And from Stamford, he moved to Wilton. Always a gentleman. And the family and friends may call at the Cognetta Funeral Home this Sunday from 3 to 6. And again, COVID protocols will be enforced. And Mass of Christian burial will be on Monday at St. Gabriel Church behind former Catholic High School, Stamford Catholic. A moment, if anyone has anything that they would like to say about Jim, please.
Joe, Dave Kaplan. I didn't know Jim, but I did want to give a nod to Carl, who sent a very nice email to Jim Russo's daughter, Kathy Mack. expressing our condolences. And following Phil Schechter's lead in past circumstances such as this, I've mailed a sympathy card to Jim's family for the loss of their father and our member, and that we hold him in our fond memory during the difficult period.
Thank you, Dave. Okay, let's just have a moment of thank you. On a happier note, we have some birthday babies this month, and again, we have a couple of guys that are not going to be paying dues anymore. So, 90-year-olds, first-time 90s, Joe D, Jack Jablonski, and Arnold Stager. Joining Bob Langenhan, Dan McCarthy, Jim Duffy, and Yuri Gate, as well as everyone else, all the young guys that are listed here with birthdays. So, Jerry, are you with us?
I've been practicing, yes, sure.
Okay. Will you lead us in a happy birthday?
Happy birthday.
Hey to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear fellows. Happy birthday to you.
Congratulations, guys. And membership anniversary. I think one of our longest standing members, John Durso, is 35 years as a member. And Alan Sosnowitz is celebrating 10 years. And 5-year members are Jerry Ardigo, Carl, Rich Ostow, Rainer Falkenstein, Roman Lasuk, James Popper, and Joe Raccanello. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Carl, I know, we've got a lot of members over the last 11 months that, 11 months, I think, that we've been on Zoom. What are they gonna get all their annual awards retroactively once we go back live and pin them on the medals?
Yeah, I want to exchange them. I want to get people's old people who turn in, their 5s to get their 10s, and etc., as well as distribute the 5s to the, on a new basis.
So we'll do that when we go back live, right?
Yeah, just wait till we go back live.
Okay. So Carl will be on top of that. Okay, today we're going to have our installation of officers for the year 2021, and Mayor Martin will officiate, and we're going to have to improvise. So maybe when we're doing the swearing in, we'll all raise our hands electronically on, all the officers raise our hands electronically. And if we stand up, we'll be out of the picture. So we'll stay sitting down. We're going to have to try and improvise a little bit, but it should be interesting. It'll be a first time we're doing it like this. Between our last board meeting and our photo gallery, and Steve and Stu, they were able to put together a collage of all the new offices. So the website will have a picture of the new offices, but it'll be, similar to what you're seeing on the screen right now. So whatever we have to do during these trying times, we're going to do, and try and keep some semblance of normalcy. And so I was going to say something about yesterday's situation, but I guess Bob beat me to it earlier. So, enough said on that. Moving on. Okay, Stu is, I guess, under the weather, so our future programs will be on January 14th next week. David Pogue, who's has podcasts, been on TV, and is going to speak on how to prepare for the climate change or for climate change. That should be interesting. And I know we got his name from some of the other groups that meet, and they speak very highly of him, and maybe we'll get him back to talk about electric cars, the future of electric cars. On the 21st, friend of Arcady, Svetlana Kunin, will be speaking about socialism and capitalism through the eyes of a Soviet emigree. That I'm sure will be very interesting. On 28th, Wheel It Forward, a new kind of library. Elliot Sawyer, who's Wheel It Forward is a organization that will lend, similar to a library. You can borrow number of forms of rehabilitative equipment, from wheelchairs, crutches, machinery, beds, things that are used some cases for a short time period. People recover, and they donate it to this group. And if you or someone needs that type of equipment, you can borrow it out. And on February 4th, Art Gottlieb, I've been trying to get a hold of Art, and finally, I guess Stu was able to get a hold of Art. We've had him in the past. He's a historian, another professor or teacher up at Noah Community, and his talk will be on Charles Lindbergh. And I'm sure he will get into all of the details of Lindbergh, who obviously was a public persona, and there was some good and some bad, and I'm sure we'll hear all the stories of it. I don't think it's going to be an adulation of Lindbergh. It's a historical fact on Lindbergh. So that being said, those are our future programs, immediate future. Then on February 18th, managed to get Bobby Valentine back. And Howie, do you want to?
Yes, I do. Thanks to Carl, we have designed a poster which is going to be sent out to every member. And we're going to ask you please to print a couple of copies and put a little note on it to one of your neighbors who's our age, a friend. Want you to get it in their mailbox. We can't go out and meet person to person, but we're going to need help getting membership for the club. And this Bobby Valentine is a terrific speaker, as those who have heard him in the past know. So it'll be a great recruiting tool. So please, when the blast comes in the next week or two, and you get it from with the poster of this, showing people how they join us, please do hand it out, get it out to people. Because without us members doing it, we're going to lose everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Howie. Ira, I see you're all dressed up for the occasion today. Unmute yourself, Ira.
Okay, I'm with you. Happy and healthy New Year to everybody. There isn't a correction and an addition to last week's minutes. Carl notified me that I had made an error with life members. Should be 54. And the addition that I didn't include was that Bill Johnson's gift has been used to obtain a new laptop, which we desperately needed. Anyway, if there are no other corrections or additions to the minutes, we'll do the usual, and I'm going to ask Joe to approve them for everybody.
Okay, I approve the minutes as corrected and amended.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ira.
Okay, Larry here. 9:20 discussion groups. We had a very active discussion this morning presented by Joe D on investments and going forward. Next week, we have Bob Butke speaking on technology. January 21st, we have Lori Price back for Money Matters. January 28th, it'll be Joe D on current events, and we'll have a new president at that time. On February 4th, Art Feldman will speak on the future of capitalism in the United States. So some very interesting topics leading on to the conversations, and hopefully as many participants, hopefully we'll increase the number of participants because these are really interesting discussions. Next slide. Yesterday, there was a walk at Waveney Park, and Jerry, Joan, and Dave made it there. Looks like the weather was clear, sunny, and brisk. From sunny Florida, I can't tell you what it really was, but that's what the picture looks like. Next week, the walk will be in Cove Island Park at 10 a.m. So go out, enjoy, and get some exercise, and have the socialization of walking and talking with other members of the organization and their spouses if they bring them. Next slide. We have a date for the 2021 annual fall picnic, which we do presume will be allowed to occur with many of the members having been vaccinated by then, and the pandemic being substantially reduced and restrictions waived. Dates, Thursday, September 23rd. Location, as usual, is at Cove Island at 11 o'clock. Stu Madison has graciously agreed to continue as chairperson, in addition to his current activity as first vice president and getting all the speakers. And thank you, Stu, for doing that. The speaker will be Mayor Martin, who may be back bicycling to the location. So look forward to that. And if anybody has any thoughts about any other activities other than the previously discussed golfing, which may start to occur in March or April, please feel free to email me with your thoughts and ideas. Take care, and hope to look forward to seeing you again when we meet in person. Carl, it's yours, I think.
Good morning. Do we have any visitors or guests online with us this morning? Okay. Here's the summary of where we stand at the beginning of the year. And on the next slide, I've shown the changes in membership during the year. You can see that comparing the January 1st, 2020 bar to the December 31st, 2020 bar, that the number of regular members has shrunk by 10. The number of life members increased by 4, and the overall membership is down by 6, reflecting that the difficulty we've had with recruiting during the COVID crisis. Normally, we've had on the average of 25 new members per year, and this year we've only succeeded in recruiting 9. So hopefully next year will be a much better year, and Howie's already got his creative juices moving, and we hope to have a greater success in 2021 to enable us to return to the 240 level, the 240s. Okay, we're still struggling with our dues. Anyone who's not paid their dues now is considered late. Reminder that most of you already know that if you turn 90 in 2020, you do not owe dues. But we have a substantial shortfall at this time of year compared to the same time last year of approximately, over 50 people have not paid their dues yet. And I'm not sure that we will agree as a board to fine people who don't pay during this month, but I think it's we need to get a little greater level of excitement going here to make sure that by the end of January, everyone who's going to continue as a member, and we hope that's everyone, will have paid their dues, so we don't have to continue this fundraising activity, the dues collection activity, throughout any further into the year.
Carl, the board does not have to act on that because there is a part of our bylaws is that if the member doesn't pay his dues by a certain date, they're fined $10. So
I just want to get a sense of the board's feeling on it, that I wasn't overreacting to it.
I don't. I think that we should follow the bylaws on that. If not, raise their dues back to the original $60 if they don't pay by a time beyond that. I mean, we do need the money to operate, even though our costs are less due to the pandemic. We're not meeting, but there are fixed costs that we have to absorb, and the dues are the only way we raise funds. So, guys, yeah, I'm probably speaking to the choir at this point, because most of you guys are online and you get the message. It's the people I'm concerned with that don't join us on Zoom, and maybe, you know, I'm forgetting. So I don't know if it's at some point, maybe there's a substantial amount. If we try the like we did the phone list to get people to follow us on Zoom, maybe split up 2 or 3, 3 or 4 names per each board member, and maybe have the board, members just call a little personal phone call to.
Okay, and I'll also mention in next week's slide the possibility of potential for finding those late payers, and so when that goes out with the email blast, it'll might shake some more checks loose from the members who so far haven't contributed.
Yeah, whatever we have to do. I mean, it's not as if it's 10 members. It's a substantial amount of people that are not paying their dues, and it concerns me that, are they not paying their dues because they don't want to be members anymore? And from my experiences in other organizations, they'll never let you know that, and they'll just string us along. So whatever we have to do to get that, please consider that.
Okay. All right, and finally, this was mentioned earlier, but we want to thank Bill Johnson for his donation, which enabled us to buy replacement for our laptop, which is shown here. So thanks again to Bill.
Yes. David.
Yes, so thank you. Well, I wish everybody a happy, healthy new year, and hope that you all had a wonderful New Year's Eve experience despite the COVID. Does anybody want to share any good news they've had, or how you in fact did celebrate New Year's?
I see John Sedlak is with us today on the Zoom meeting, so.
Yes, we can go to that. And John, in fact, did join us for Jody's investment meeting earlier this morning. He had a medical appointment later today, so I don't think he's with us now. But John looked really good, and I spoke to him yesterday. He's feeling a lot stronger. He's home, and he still would appreciate calls from the rest of us. It really does boost his spirits. He's going to be ongoing treatments about every 3 weeks, but between that time, he's basically home resting up. And he does thank those of us who have called him. Alan had provided an update on the CERT status with handing out masks. Alan, do you have any further update to give on that?
No, I don't. And I don't have any scheduling for who's next in line for the COVID shots. I will be volunteering on Friday and Saturday, just helping. I'm not giving shots, but I'm helping out with that division on Friday and Saturday.
Okay, cool. I do have an update on COVID testing being provided by the VA at West Haven. Bill Johnson had referenced an article in The Advocate that the VA had started COVID vaccination distributions for those over 65 and suggested this could reduce our numbers for local injections. I called the VA and spoke to the office directing the rollout. It has indeed just begun according to a prioritization plan, starting with high-risk veterans and VA healthcare and medical staff workers. Now, once all of these high-risk vets are vaccinated, they'll then begin the rollout to the rest of us vets. But I asked if we could schedule, and the answer was no, but rather they would contact each of us, those of us who are registered, when the time comes. They have no projection when that will be. So in terms of an alternative to getting it locally, it appears it would be further out, and we just don't know the time frame. And of course, the other issue is that it won't be available to spouses or family members, but just to the veterans themselves.
Thank you, Dave.
Sure.
Any other fellowship on any members or good news, bad news?
Joe?
Okay, well, Ed Roloff had his hand up first. Ed?
Yeah, I had a question for Carl on the prior comment. The people who have not paid their dues, do we know if they have email addresses involved? Not involved, email addresses disclosed to us so that we could, send them, not only make a phone call to them, but send them a little note via email to remind them about the meeting and also about paying the dues.
When we had, yes, the answer is yes. We have their email addresses. In the spring, when we were encouraging people to participate in these Zoom meetings, we contacted all the people who were not participating and determined that we updated all our emails based upon that. We did find people who didn't want to use the computers to go into the Zoom meetings, but they do have email addresses, and we also have current phone numbers. So what we'll be doing is, I'm sure we'll find when we get into it that some people haven't been reading their emails, and they will require a phone call. But they also should remember that this is a time of year when dues are due, and it's something that happens every year, so it shouldn't come as a complete surprise. But your point is well taken, and we do have current emails and current phone numbers for that contacting.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Howie?
Going back to the vaccinations, a few weeks ago was mentioned that Les Gordon might have something into that community health center named after his wife. Anything further on that?
Les is still working on it, and once our group gets the nod, he's probably going to set something up. Was the way it was left. So
Okay, thank you. I wasn't sure how it was left. Appreciate it. Thank you, Joe.
okay, next slide. Dick Harper, report on the book club.
Good morning, gentlemen. January 20, does that date ring a bell? We hope that the inauguration will go over smoothly at noontime, and we would be able to meet at 2 o'clock on Zoom to talk about the splendid and the vile, which of course is focused on Churchill and the Second World War and the dire straits that England fell into. And our next book on the list is quite a change of pace with The Kingdom of Ice and another Hampton Sides books. So put on your overcoats and read that book. And then we'll be trying to figure out among the members of the book readers group which books we'll read in the future. So,
Okay, do we
thanks
have?
everybody.
Yeah, Larry here. I had read, a couple of weeks ago that Connecticut was one of the leading states for getting its vaccines and getting them into the hands, into the arms of the healthcare workers and nursing home residents. And I'm not sure why things have slowed up a lot. I'm down here in Florida now for about another week, and they are getting all people over 65 actually are eligible to get shots, and a number of my friends and acquaintances have either had the shot within the past week or are scheduled within the next 2 weeks. Now, a couple of it's online registration form, and sometimes it's you're an hour or two online to try through, but everybody's getting shots here. So it seems that there's a lot more supply of vaccine here than there seems to have been in Connecticut. And I'm just wondering what anybody has heard about why we seemingly are behind the times, because I'll be back in about another week or 10 days. I'm looking forward to getting a vaccine. Anybody have any feedback as to
The mayor should know.
supply?
Let's ask the mayor.
Yeah, he jumped on. I guess he probably jumped off again because he was in another meeting.
Well, after his remarks.
Yeah, he's just muted.
No, he's not even on the.
But has any of the members heard anything about the situation?
I don't know. Why don't you hold that question when we have the Q&A with our mayor?
Okay.
Yeah. Because he came on, and I think I don't see him.
He's still listed on the list, but he's
I don't
muted.
see it.
No, I said, where did these go? Where did these go?
Hey, give me a minute.
I see him.
Give me a minute.
I just saw him.
Ah,
Okay,
Give me a minute.
give him a minute.
oh, May. He comes on as not David, but as mayor.
Yeah.
All right.
We have two people that have their hands raised. I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead. Bill Munko.
Yeah, question. Does our club, SMAS, have a plan for its members to be vaccinated as a group, or just for information?
Okay. Les Gordon is a director at the Community Health Center, and he's trying to work something out. So that's in the works. And if he can arrange it that's, something he's gonna try and do for us. So he's working on it from that end. If someone, I would suggest really
But it works.
that if someone is,
Skippy's food now.
if someone is getting a nod because they're in the more vulnerable than the age to get it on their own, don't just wait. But what he's trying to arrange is something with the group.
Okay, thank you.
And wives. Alan? Jaffe? Unmute yourself.
Well, I raised my hand when the jokes came up. Okay,
Oh, okay.
ready for that?
Are there any other discussion items? Okay. All right, Alan, you're on.
All right, well, a weasel
You want a
walks
drum
into
roll?
a bar and the bartender says, what can I get you? Pop, goes the weasel.
Like I said, we're ready for jokes. Anybody have any jokes?
I heard some laughs.
Okay, I guess with that,